Hi, my name is Adam, and I'm teaching about monsters and why we believe in them. And I'd like to talk about vampires. We think of vampires as being dead, and sometimes even as sleeping in coffins. Well, there's a reason for that. See, back in the Middle Ages, people didn't know a whole lot about medicine, and they didn't even know sometimes when people actually died. So somebody might be really sick, they think they're dead, they bury him. But then later that person gets better, and they wake up, but they're in a coffin, so it's not much good for them. They might try to claw and scratch at the ceiling of the coffin and get out, but it won't work and they'll die eventually. But when somebody digs that coffin up, they'll open it up and see that there are claw marks on the roof, and they'll think, oh my god, this person was still alive, they're trying to get out. Maybe they're still alive, and they claw their way out every night. And we think that dead bodies, they rot, right? They decompose. But that's not actually what happens first. For a few days after a body dies, the gases in the body are going to expand, and you're going to look a little fatter, a little healthier, a little richer even, like you've just had a really good meal. And that never happens to medieval peasants, right? So when people would see these supposedly dead people who had a nice, rich, full bloat to them, they would think, this person's not dead at all. They're still eating. They're going out at night and they're feeding on the living. And the thing is, this happens to everyone. It's not just a certain group of people that their gases will expand in their body, it is everyone. So whenever they thought a vampire might be around, maybe somebody got killed and they didn't know why. Maybe some people are really sick, like their blood got drained, they're really weak, and they don't know why. So they dig up somebody who recently died and see there's claw marks, there's fullness, there's fatness. This person's got to be a vampire. And then how do you kill a vampire? You stake him through the heart, right? And when they put that stake in there, it's like popping a balloon, and all the gases escape, and it looks like you've just actually killed them, right? So based on that, people thought that everyone was a vampire. They thought that they'd dig up the mayor who just died. He's a vampire. They dig up their next door neighbor. He's a vampire. They dig up their own dad. He is a vampire. And this got so bad that in 1755, the Empress Maria Theresa of Austria actually had to pass a law saying it is illegal to dig someone up and check if they're a vampire. And did that stop it? No, it just made it worse, really. Because now people thought, hey, the Empress doesn't want us digging up vampires. Maybe she's a vampire. Maybe she's just covering for all her vampire buddies. So that's part of how we got this idea that the vampires are the ruling class, the noble class, the rich class. Because they've got friends with the Empress. They're fat, they're rich, they're healthy. And there were a couple historical people like Vlad the Impaler, like Elizabeth Bathory, who were really crazy and maybe thought that they were vampires themselves. Vlad the Impaler, he would stick the heads of his enemies on pikes, so when an army would come up to his castle trying to invade, they'd see those sticks with heads on them and they'd say, no, I don't want any part of this. They'd run away because they don't want to fight this crazy vampire guy. Elizabeth Bathory, she would take baths in the blood of people. People thought, is she a vampire who's trying to suck that blood up and gain power from it? So from these crazy guys, from the fact that vampires, supposed vampires, would look healthier and fatter, from the fact that the Empress was apparently their best friend who wanted to protect them, people started to think that the rich, the powerful, the important people, those are the vampires.